Who's your favorite Al Capone? Because I really like that guy in Boardwalk Empire who plays him. I think he does a really good job.
Yeah, I was going to say him as well. The British guy who looks very like stocky, like he looks like Capone, the same face shape, the same.
His
like
nickname is
build.
Pork Chop for sure.
Oh
like,
yeah, he's a pork chop.
He looks like Pork Chop. Yeah,
he's a
also,
good one.
Yeah. He's
Wait, who's another Capone? Like, so I can compare. You probably know more.
Well, there was the one with what's his name, where he was shitting himself. It's like Capone is an old man and the neurosyphilis has taken effect. It's the guy who played
Tom
Bane.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy played that one.
Sucked. I watched part of that and I'm like, this is ridiculous. When's he gonna do cool stuff? And it's like, no, this whole movie is just kind of watching a doddering old gangster.
But De Niro played Capone in The Untouchables, which is a Kevin Costner / Sean Connery movie. They are like partners fighting bootlegging in Chicago, and they are the Untouchables, is what they dubbed themselves or whatever. And it's Elliot Ness. He plays Elliot Ness. True story. Elliot Ness is played by Kevin Costner, and Sean Connery is his, I don't know, this older cop who's advising him and helping him navigate the difficulties of all that. It's a good movie.
Okay. I don't like Kevin Costner, so probably won't watch.
But De Niro plays Capone, and he's got a bald cap on, and he's doing that fucking thing he does. Both of you did pretty good impressions. We're gonna kill him.
Just that weird like grimace smile.
Bro, what's wrong with your face?
He's had an old man smile for much longer than he's been old.
You've seen Taxi Driver, right? From back in the day where he
I think that might be my favorite De Niro movie. I like that a lot.
Is that Scorsese? So I'm 99% sure that's Martin Scorsese that directs that. Scorsese, I think. I hope I'm not getting this wrong or be silly. Is the guy in the back seat who Travis Bickle, De Niro's character, is driving around. He's like, pull up here, park. See that window up there? Seen that window up there? My wife's in there. About to fuck a guy. I think he uses a slur then about who she's fucking. He's like, you know what I got? You ever see a 44 Magnum? What it does to a woman's face? You ever see that? You ever think about that? And it's like having this unhinged conversation where he's talking about murdering his wife with a 44 Magnum pistol and what it would do to a woman's face. And De Niro's just like, let me mess it up. Mess it up real good. He doesn't know what to fucking say, you know? I love Taxi Driver. I haven't seen that in a while. It's almost time. It's a little uncomfortable.
What's the plot?
So Travis is a taxi driver who is clearly unhinged. He has lost his mind completely, and that is being magnified by the city that he lives in. It's almost this toxin that's seeping into him. He sees he can't sleep because of part of his psychosis is preventing that, and so he just gets as many shifts as he can. He's in every night he goes to the horrors of New York City, the drugs and the sex and the pimps and the rape, and he befriends a 14-year-old prostitute played by Jodie Foster, and Harvey Keitel plays her pimp, Sport. And you've also got this side story where he becomes infatuated with this woman, maybe played by Jane Fonda, though I'm not good on that. Who's she's an aide to a political candidate, and De Niro is going crazy and like sort of writing his manifesto, acquiring weaponry, training himself. Literally, he has this monologue where he's like, "For too long, we've sat still and rotted. No more of that. Every day, 50 push-ups, 50 pull-ups. We've got to harden ourselves, harden our body." And while you hear this monologue, he's like making a fist above a gas stove burner, sort of like just getting himself a little pain, just a little, not roasting himself, nothing crazy, but he's just like, yeah, fucking hot, isn't it? He's like, he's taken the inside of a drawer, that mechanism, that roller mechanism, and strapped it to the inside of his arm, and he's put a little pocket pistol in there. So he can reach out like this and the pistol slides out. And it's that famous scene where he's talking in the mirror and he's, "You talking to me? You talking to me? I don't see anybody else here, so you must be talking to me. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" And he pulls the gun. "Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's fucking right." It's great. I love that shit. That and the scene where he acquires the guns. The gun salesman is hilarious. He's got all these crazy guns, of course, but at the end of the conversation, he's like, "I can get you a Cadillac, brand new Cadillac, $3,000. Uppers, downers. You like girls?" It's like, whatever you want, this guy can get it.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. I need to
and then at the end, of course, he snaps. And He could go left and become a hero, or he could go right and become a villain. And he makes his decision. Or is his decision made for him? That's what I would argue. But it's a great movie. Crazy shootout at the end. Maybe one of my favorite De Niro things other than Godfather. I love that movie. He's scary. He's legitimately scary because you hear him talking to himself and you're like, yeah, there are people walking around like that who are just like, I don't care about my life, and these people around me need to go. They're a fucking poison. They're plotting and scheming, and like, here's a guy who's going through the steps, right? And this is in the 70s.
I watched that after, like, I saw Joker.
It's very young De Niro, by the way, Woody. Like, he's very fit and thin.
Oh yeah, like early 70s or something like that. But
I tried to watch it twice. I was never ready for
it. They said like, oh, you know, this new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, it kind of borrows a lot from Taxi Driver, kind of the same vibe. And it does, definitely. But like, I had never seen Taxi Driver, but it has that, when I watched it, it has that same vibe of like when characters who aren't familiar with Travis Bickle or aren't familiar with Joker, like you see them kind of get adjacent to him in a non-intimidating setting. And you have a feeling of like, no, this poor woman has no idea the kind of person she's talking to right now. Oh, don't lead him on with that. Don't say that to him. You're gonna make him think that you are like connected at the hip now and like true love. Like very
it's hard to see what's wrong with Travis Bickle on the outside, but it's clear he's a very broken person whose perception of reality and just the way he lives is very altered. The way he takes that lovely woman on her first date to a porno theater, and he's like, lots of people go to these movies, and she's like, are you fucking sick? You sick in the head? What's wrong with you? And like runs away. And it's like, he had no idea how to like communicate with a woman. He's literally like an incel, outsider, lone wolf, ready to fucking snap. And
he's fucked up from war, right?
De Niro, I'm itching to talk about Cape Fear, because that's the De Niro movie that I think is scary.
Zach, show us a picture of De Niro all pumped up with the tattoos from Cape Fear.
I would love that. Yeah. So De Niro, not normally the guy I think of as like an action hero or an action hero type villain, but in that movie, he got prepared for it. I thought that's how I remember it anyway. And he plays this crazy guy. I forget why he has it out for the protagonist. Do you remember what?
He likes the daughter. He's like creeping on the like 16-year-old, 15-year-old daughter. I think she likes me a lot. I think she does.
I could be wrong. I remember it differently. I remember him using the daughter as a tool to get to the dad. And he does that. That's one of the scary things. The daughter's in school and I'll call her 14 years old or so. He was bigger in my memory. She's like 14 and De Niro is seducing her and it is working. And her dad is like, do not go near that guy. Don't go near him. But she is, using her own brain. And she's like, I don't know. I think this guy's pretty cool. I think I like him a lot.
I've seen Goodfellas.
And then there are a couple other scenes too, like their dog dies, I think, and then like a piano string is missing from the piano. We don't know what the fuck happened there.
Taylor, you've never seen it, right?
I've seen Cape Fear. I like it.
Oh, I was hoping you'd never seen Cape Fear, but I knew you had seen the Simpsons episode with the Pinafore,
the HMS Pinafore.
Yeah. Because that's just it's this. Yeah, I've never seen Cape Fear.
Really? This is the first movie ever I've seen that you haven't seen.
When I put myself into Cape Fear, I'm not De Niro. I'm the dad. I'm the victim in this who's like trying to figure out like, how do I deal with this? I've got this crazy person stalking my family. I'm the only one who understands the danger. Everyone else thinks he's pretty charismatic and a nice enough guy. My daughter wants to fuck him, and I'm like
convicted. Released from prison after serving a 14-year sentence, stalks the family of the lawyer who originally defended him.
Oh, okay. Ooh. That was his. Oh, he felt like he didn't get a good defense, and I think he didn't. I think he was right.
Nick Nolte. Okay,
yeah,
it's Nick Nolte playing the dad.
He's horrible, evil, but he's also a genius, and he, I guess, became like a jailhouse lawyer who understood that his attorney didn't give him a proper defense because he was guilty, and.
So he's right. So De Niro's the hero?
No,
De Niro's the rapist.
Seems like he was wronged by his lawyer and the criminal justice system.
What is a proper response to tie up the daughter, tie up the wife, and say, you think I'm going to rape your wife? Well, maybe I'll get to that, but I have an opportunity to traumatize here.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here to debate.
14 years of the man's life, and the daughter is 14 years old. It seems fair to me. You look,
You make a strong point.
He should, at the very least, he should be smart.
He's very sinister. It's very easy from like step one. If they had put a Dracula cape on him in the first scene, you wouldn't be able to take away any more that he's the bad guy, like an unhinged loon.
I think you'd like Cape Fear, Kyle.
It's really good.
It's scary, and it's like a psychological torture type thing.
Yeah, I'll probably watch. I think I usually don't like the psychological torture stuff. That movie I mentioned to that titty girl we had on a while back, or maybe it was somebody. No, it was somebody else because they actually corrected me.
Tits or something.
It's the one where, oh god, don't help her again. It's the one where not funny people.
I liked her.
I said it was funny people, but they corrected me and it was something else. Funny games. Funny Games. That Funny Games movie is the same. It's that kind of psychological torture.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't like that a ton. I don't know.
Squid Game had some of that.
I like the psychological, like, torment stuff. Like, that's more interesting to me than the physical. I don't want to watch gore porn. Like, that's just not, that doesn't get me. I don't watch really gory scenes in horror and think like, oh man, this is really spooking me.
Yeah, that's why the Terrifier was such a turnoff. Like, I do really enjoy those practical horror effects. Like, if you're not using real blood in a horror movie, then what are you doing? I don't want to see those CGI blood squibs from Sons of Anarchy. That shit doesn't fly anywhere. I don't want to see 300 CGI blood flying through the air. I want like gallons of corn syrup dripping down people's faces.
That's not real blood. Kyle said real blood. Don't back down from that.
Yeah.
Didn't they use real blood in Carrie? Was that real pig's blood? No way, right? Nah, probably not. I'm sure it's been done before. No, I mean Carrie. Carrie's the Mel Gibson, the Stephen King movie where you know Carrie, right?
With the car? I'm thinking Christine.
No, that's Christine. Carrie. Carrie is the girl with psychic powers who they douse in pig's blood after they fake make her the prom queen.
I don't know if I've seen this.
She's on stage and they make her the fake prom queen, and she thinks, finally, I'm a Disney princess, and then they dump pig's blood on her from above the stage, and she doesn't care for it. By the way, this is at the end of a movie where she has been psychologically tortured and shamed for her like womanhood, her period, by her mother, and her mother thinks she's filthy because she like has a period. The girls at school think she's like some sort of retard because she doesn't know how to deal with a period, and she's just this blossoming young girl who has psychic powers. So at the end, when she fucking gets that pig's blood dumped on her, she goes rage mode and like telekinesis murders the whole high school class, burns everything, burns them all alive. It's great.
It's not the little girl meme who like
nope.
Okay.
No,
it's played by God, the actress is 1,000 years old now. Carrie. It's Carrie.
Yeah. I haven't seen that Carrie. I feel like I've seen it because I've seen so many shows reference it.
My bad.
Carrie. Yeah. There's a remake, obviously, but the original was probably made in like the 70s or 80s or something. Sissy Spacek. That's the good one. Yeah, it's that's a little classic film. That's good. Another one that I don't watch just because it makes me feel terrible is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I watched it once in the 11th or 12th grade in school, like in shop class. We just played and watched, and I felt so awful. I'll never watch that.
Which one
again.
Is this?
It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, this is awesome. We're running through movies. I've seen all of them. Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Love that movie.
We had to read the book
Danny
before we
DeVito
watched the movie in school.
It's so sad. It's so upsetting to me. And I hate Nurse Ratched so much. Like, that's one of the all-time greatest villains. Nurse fucking Ratched. By the way, little tidbit for you Star Trek fans out there. Same actress that plays Nurse Ratched is the fucking cunt. The Bajoran, what's her name? Who's always fucking with Cisco. Oh, hang on, let me pull her up real quick. It's
Is it Troy's mom?
No, this is Deep Space Nine.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a really good villain in that movie.
It's Kai Wynn. It's that Kai Wynn character who's always coming in and being like super shitty to everyone, really. Like she thinks she's better than everybody. Oh, she's always talking down to people. That's her. That's the same actress that played Nurse Ratched, though, and she's just so hateable.